back in business. A Swedish derby on Swedish soil for the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö. We are live from the Malmö arena. Myself, Machine, joined by Henry G. Fnatic take their map pick of Dust 2. It wasn't the prettiest world of Counter-Strike, that's for sure, but the chaos is where Fnatic thrive, and they did manage to convert.
Yeah, they absolutely did. It was a slow start in the second half for them, but once they did the hills in and once they started getting rounds together and broke the money down, it looked like there was a certainty they were going to take Dust 2. We move over to Nuke now. This is the pick of NIP, but still a bit of a question mark. History dictates NIP should be taking this one, but remember, they'll start on the T side here going forward. Fnatic look more up for it in the individual fragging department. If they get a good start here, manage to get a decent amount of rounds on the CT side, they've got every chance of closing this one out 2-0. NIP, their T side looked a little bit flat, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's nice to build up storylines and some hype and maybe add some romance to it sometimes, Alex, but unfortunately at times it looked like they were a little bit lost on their own T side.
That's for sure. Of course, getting to see Twist in that roster for the Ninjas in pajamas up against his old one. There is a lot on the line, and also, of course, a battle for redemption for Swedish Counter-Strike. They have, as you got a moment to reflect there during that break, if you're watching the broadcast, you will have seen GAW talking about his highs and his lows, and probably more of the latter.
In recent times, for sure. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, his career. One of the most decorated Swedish players of all time within CSGO, but certainly had a turbulent career, and this is a bit of a redemption now. This lineup has got promise behind it. It's not looking like a world beater just yet, but there's certainly some players that can step up. As he mentioned, he wants to pass the torch on towards players like Brolan and show the world what he's capable of and develop him into a world-class talent, which everyone thinks he can be.
And that development process is something it seems to take, you know, a completely ambiguous period of time. It's to do with the environment you're in, and of course a part of the new environment for players like that is their coach, Samuelsson, joining Fnatic as their new head coach.
Yes, indeed.
And you do have Pitta there on your screens for the Ninjas. Last final talk, getting Plopsky into that right frame of mind to prepare for what will be a battle on their map pick. On the ropes after conceding Fnatics, but especially with the support we've already seen from the crowd here in Malmö, looking to do what they couldn't on map 1. Nuke, though, it's a completely different kettle of fish, Henry. Why don't we quickly remind everyone the new task Fnatic are going to be faced with?
Well, Dust 2, you don't need much preparation going into it. You just need to have defaults and a good understanding of the fundamentals of the map. Most teams can play that one, and it won't be much of a bogey pick for any teams really coming into it. Nuke, on the other hand, a lot more technical. It's much down to forcing rotations, suggestion with your outside smoke as to what your intentions are. In-game leaders usually found by themselves outside trying to work towards a secret area. We saw Lekra doing a lot of that in the first map on the T-set Dust 2 to no avail, really. It looked like he was struggling at times to find entry points and costing them time instead of actually getting them advantages.
A very volatile role, because when done well,
yes,
it's game winning, it's map winning, it's trophy lifting. If you can get that right, and a balance we've seen struck by a plethora of different players and their various peaks. Glaive, of course, is a prime example of someone that's been pulling it off at the last couple of tournaments. Astralis waiting in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I'd also like to see more intuition on the CT sides there. Nuke does allow you to go for aggressive plays, especially with that outside formation we just discussed. All the T sides will focus towards the outside control. If you can push towards the lobby and ramp them on the CT side and start applying pressure and pushing them into uncomfortable positions, that's where you can start to really put your foot on the throat of your opposition here. As we mentioned, Fnatic will start on the CT side, but it's not a map they've played a ton with this new roster. Interested to see what they're going to bring to the table here, and there is a chance they close this one out 2-0, but they're going to have their work cut out for them. NIP very experienced on this map. I'm sure Forrest will have a game plan in mind. He's played this one so many times with the NIP jersey on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the second map of this quarterfinal. Are you ready? We'll get into things here. Fnatic, CT start, they've got one diffused kit and a smoke. Golden going for a full eco, it seems. He's got $800, looking to prepare himself for the second round if required. And we'll get into it. We have one smoke and a flash and a fast ramp approach here. Golden to defend. Remember, no armor available for him. He'll get the hell out of there. Yeah,
gets the information, though. That's kind of the role of the ramp player, and surviving. Never mind having a chance at a frag here. He's getting overwhelmed, though. Still finds a frag. No armor, no problem. 1 for 1. Bomb can go down. I say can being the operative word. Roland had an opportunity to contest. Instead, though, NIP have taken the lower site. Rez is the one to initiate some aggression. 3 remain for the CTs. Crims from behind. The backs are turned, and Flusher draws blood. First for the Ninjas, but Lekro Invents will keep things under lock and key. This round should be all good for the Pajama Ninjas. Just a final bit of housekeeping for Forrest and Lekro. Flusher to challenge, no kit, and Forrest gets the double kill to put Ninjas on the board early.
Fast ramp take there. Managing to push back Golden. Like we said, he had no utility, no armor, couldn't fight that one at all. He goes down towards the lower side. Did well to get that one frag, but great pacing there from NIP. Made sure they approach the bomb site with conviction, a quick plant, and then it's a very difficult retake with just the USPs. They managed to make it close. It goes down to a 2 versus 1, but overall, Fnatic will have to force buy in this second round. Remember, Golden, he's able to get a decent buy going forward. They do manage to give JW the scout with a helmet as well, and he'll nail the first shot. Takes Lekr0 down to 30 HP as the outside approach comes in now. We talked about these smokes being prevalent as we go forward into this game, and every bit of damage is going to be valuable here. The more tags, the better. It's Lekr0 who's low, but Forest and Twist now in one-tap range of those CZs. We'll see if this is going to be enough. Positional control for NIP as they make their way towards Secret. Bomb still down at T-spawn, and Crim's in position to cause a bit of a ruckus here towards lower.
NIP cannot afford to let this one slip away. It's T-side nuke, and you've won the pistol. A conversion here is everything. 2 rifles. Neither of them have taken significant damage, but you're right, it does soften them up for these side arms. And Scout has done exactly what it needs to.
Yeah, 2 out of 2 tags so far.
Flusher getting the information. He knows that's not a fight he can win, chooses to wait for a later date. 40-second mark reached by the Ninjas. Reminiscent of Dust 2 at this point as the clock starts to go down. JW finishes what he started on Twist. Puts it to the 4-4, now accelerating. That's Rez with the AK. Does deal with Brollan, down to Flusher. 25 seconds, he gets the first onto Rez. 7 bullets in the clip, surely not another one. Lekr0's low. Golden and Crims though. They could somehow pincer in towards Forest on main. They'll clear it together. A sweep of both mice enables Golden to make it a 2v2, and they are low here, Henry. Golden, if he hits this shot, Lekr0 will tuck himself in towards the CT vent. Plopsky on site, smoke arrives just when it needs to.
Yeah, good smoke there. That should give them a slight advantage here, but like you said, 1 bullet will take them out of the equation. Time ticking away here for the CTs. Remember, they have no kits available now. An AK-47, the pre-fire comes in. It's going to be Plopsky running the bomb site. The defuse will be close, but it looks like Fnatic have done enough here. It is going to be 1-1, presumably. It looks like they're absolutely fine, and NIP, once again, a slow approach on their anti-force buy situation. They get tagged up, 3 scout shots landing. They make their way towards upper. They found some point of access there. Comes down to a 2-on-2, but the HP just wasn't there. The pre-fire from the AK-47, and it will put Fnatic on the board. You can see they just weren't aware that Golden would be coming towards the main entrance at all. Pre-fire was sensational from Golden, manages to close things out. Lovely, lovely work there, and presumably the force buy in return absolutely will come through. 2 Kriegs, 3 Deagles, Rez with no armor. Same story for Lekr0. They had to drop those weapons to the key players, Forest and Plopsky here.
Well, well, well. We highlighted just how important that round was for the Ninjas, but it can be forgotten should they win this force. Plopsky, good catch onto Crims, but it didn't stop JW. Forest will, though. Finds his 4th frag early, now descending towards Decon. Where's that bomb? It's on the back of Twist outside. There's no chance for that bomb to go down early, but Forest has managed to double up. Spray from Flusher, keeps Fnatic in it. Oh, he's going to get caught back, turn smoke in his hand. He couldn't have his pants around his ankles anymore on Counter-Strike terms. Puts Brollan in a 1 versus 3. Bomb isn't down.
Yeah, nice work from NIP here. Bomb not planted, but I don't see a world where he manages to pull this one off. He's down towards lower right now, hoping they come toward this side of the map, but why would they? We will see, though. 55 seconds remaining, NIP being very careful in their approach. In terms of where they're finishing up, upper seems to be completely clear. Presumably, that's where they plant the bomb, but still a question mark surrounding that. Brollan now towards the ramp room, a chance for him to get closer and closer towards the upper bomb site. Has got a kit, HE and a smoke, as they all confirm things with the upper plant.
Yeah, making sure all the T's are crossed. Brollan yet to frag map 2. Thrown into a 1 versus 3. Has the kit, has utility, but NIP, they've established their crossfires. This round does feel like it's out of his reach, and I think his movement is indicative of that. He'll be backing away, wanting to bring that rifle into the next. It's an AK, no less, and a Deagle as well. Picks it up off a fallen opponent.
Well, there we have
so
it.
NIP, take 2.
Indeed. They come in with 2 rifles. Managed to really make this round work for them. 2 kills for Forest. He had strong form on Dust 2 as well. NIP take the lead 2-1. Broland saving the AK-47 though. Similar story to what we had in Dust 2 as well. You got $1,500, bottom of the barrel in terms of loss bonus. You're going to be eco next round regardless, so you might as well buy up into this and see what you can do. It was towards lower that Forest found most of the incisions. Great shots towards the ramp room. It's going to be Golden, removed from that lower bomb site. Scout again for JW, saved AK, 3 pistols. And enough utility to slow things right down as Forest will make his way towards the silo position. Plowski going fast towards outside, trying to get towards Secret once again. The smokes aren't great, could have cost him his life, or actually find him a frag. Time will tell. He's doing a lot of damage towards outside, yet to find that first opening. Those grenades should maybe even find both. They do fall back.
My God, so much damage and not a single frag to show for it. That could come back to haunt them. Smokes will arrive now, and hoping that it could draw fire for his teammate who was already established down there. Rez, however, having a duel on lobby, that can destabilize any sort of assault. Flasher, it's all about timing with this. He's hoping Plopski's not going to clear this corner at the same time. He swings, and at the moment Plopski poised to moonwalk into that CZ. He makes his presence known on the frag in part with Lecro, and now Flasher can get that frag. Oh, another for Plopski. That's going to be a bitter pill for Fnatic to swallow a second earlier, and they're into the 4v4. Now being whittled away at.
Yeah, this should be very good for NIP. Not only are they going to win against a force by Fnatic, it means they guarantee an eco into the next round. It's now 4 versus 1. Their map looking very good for them so far, and it will be Lecro to confirm things there. It is going to be a solid success story for them as we go into round number 5. As I mentioned, Fnatic can't really justify any investment here whatsoever. This is a great start for NIP. After giving up Dust 2, they're in a prime position now on the T side. Sure, it's very early days, but T side round pickups, especially when you've got 1 guaranteed, this is looking very promising for them, I have to say. Should be no problems here, but they did lose to a full eco on Dust 2. I don't see that happening here as we see a flashbang towards outside and potentially just a push towards Lecro.
Yep, Flash doesn't look bad. It does catch both of them, and that's the first one with the USPs. No way that Fnatic get this again. Forest, he slipped off the silo. Down to 59 before Fnatic even get to him. Twist, however, ensuring this one doesn't get out of control. Plopski in the same scenario for him.
There's a chance that Forest goes down there as well. He slips off the silo, but still a 4 versus 3. Forest and Twist very low.
God, the bomb was down there as well, man. If they were to push on the broken legs of Forest, that would have been an opportunity. Perhaps that opportunity is still available as bomb will go down. So NIP not letting the clock rot in the same way they did against the Pistols prior.
Yeah, nice approach there from Fnatic. The flashbang goes over. 3 players pushing and swinging around the corner. Managed to take down Lecro. Forest almost goes with them, but he manages to avoid certain death and fall right back towards T-spawn. Round guaranteed, 4-1 now on the board for the Ninjas as another frag will come in. Great shot from Golden, preemptive strike towards a heaven position. He manages to take away a weapon potentially as well. Can he even reach it? It might have fallen down for him. We will see as they pre-fire. Can he find what he's looking for? He absolutely can. He gets the Krieg, but Rez, he'll drop his teammate at this point, but 2 weapons taken into the next round. It's an AK for Crims and Golden with the Krieg. Nice work. So at least they'll have a strong buy going forward. They absolutely needed that. Money was starting to become a bit of an issue for them overall, but now they'll have a strong buy going forward. I don't think they bring out the AWP just yet. They're at the very top end, they have $5,000. And Flasher will be dropping a single rifle. So there we have it. It'll be 1 Krieg, an AK-47, 2 M4s, and then JW onto the UMP. The lesser weaponry actually very viable on Nuke. There's plenty of angles to hold. You'll see shotguns come out at one point in this game, I'm sure.
Boomich taught us how powerful it could be. Seeing Na'Vi on Nuke earlier in the tournament. Crims, however, taking the brunt of the early damage, down to 46. You'll hear the steps of Lecro with his ear pressed against Mini. Golden has been set up for success on ramp. It will be JW to play alongside him, and he's already started the baiting procedures, throwing nades clearly from the ramp side. Lecro now advancing behind the guise of his teammate Smokes, hoping to catch a CT off guard. I don't think he's going to catch him on the swing, though. It's Flasher and Lecro. Oh, and he has.
Oof, gotta make this one clean.
This is some trigger discipline now. Flusher's a moving target, and he's going to completely slip behind enemy lines. Makes the call, and looks to catch JW!
Oh, no!
Oh, no! Plopski can make good on that. A crazy shot onto Golden. Now they can descend lower. NIP. Lekro getting the information. Fortunately for them, they have Plopsky on the ranks because he stabilizes for them after what could have been a real Orky Momo.
Yeah, absolutely. He has to go above and beyond for an IP at that point. Lekro gave it up, another failed backstab from him. It was looking so promising there, but the boosted player towards the ramp I thought was enough to shut them down, but they've recovered. Plopsky with the shot from hell. It will be a 4 versus 3 CTs. Don't know that they're really up for this one. Forest in a prime position towards the window to make sure that no one's probing towards a bomb site. It's absolutely confirmed. NIP stick to landing, and what could have been a disastrous moment, Crims will get one consolation for that. That's pretty much all they're going to find. Flusher trying to lock them in towards the secret steps at this point, but they're fine to survive the blast in that position. Just a bit of self-preservation there from Flusher. Another round slips away though. Fnatic can't find their footing here on the CT side whatsoever.
5 T rounds already from the Ninjas in Pajamas, making it clear why Nuke was their choice.
Look at this.
This is madness. So quick to transfer into Golden.
Yeah, the Krieg especially as well. That's a difficult shot to land.
Whew. And 5 more Kriegs brought into round 7, NIP.
Yeah, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit, the AK-47 not being utilized at all, but for good reason, the Krieg is phenomenal these days. A lot of players saying that the weapon is OP. Time will tell. NIP certainly seem to think so. Golden holding towards ramp once again. And it's Crims to be dropped first. He can't really get going here on Nuke whatsoever. Currently sat on 1 and 4. It's Broland, 0 kills. They need to start posting some rounds here. Managed to find success in the second round, force fight, but it's all been very disappointing since that point. NIP already have enough rounds on their T side for a serviceable performance.
Everything else is a huge bonus and a huge step towards taking us to our 3rd map of the series. Just 3 remain for Fnatic. Golden, oh, they get the info for free. Lekro just through the window. Does force the reposition from Golden on the defense of the lower side. Forest outside, catches JW in transition. NIP looking fantastic here. It's not going to be easy for Forest though. Broland from Mini. Oh, he's let it slip. Lekro and Golden having somewhat of a battle of the minds here, and of course a battle of the bullets as well. Pushing in. Oh, Lekro thought he had him. The bomb now down. It puts Broland again in unfamiliar, or uncomfortable is the better word, territory. He's definitely familiar with it. Certainly was the same in Dust 2. Left to his own devices a couple of times, opting to save. We'll see something similar here.
Another very successful approach from NIP. Nothing too flashy being presented at this stage. Just working together. It's their map pick. You see Fnatic maybe not quite comfortable on the map just yet. As Broland indeed will have to save the Krieg once again. It's going to be 6-1 on the T side, and no signs of slowing down at this stage. 5 rounds in a row for them. And their money is getting to a very promising point on the T side. They might not even have to eco at this stage. Very good stuff for them. Another $3,500 in the bag as a few players start to post 5 digits now. Now be Twist with $10,000. Same story for Forest as well, just knocking on the door of that amount. And with the maximum loss bonus on the CT side, it only gets you so far. Even with the saved Krieg, they probably want to take a tactical timeout here. Broland could drop the AWP, which he's going to. He gives it the JW. That confirms the purchase here. Golden will go for an M4 Kevlar, no grenades. They know they need to start posting some rounds. This hasn't been good enough so far. AWP towards upper for now, looking for that fast approach, but no one pushing through the hut whatsoever.
Now Molotov enables him to play behind it. It doesn't do too much to destabilize the defense for now. Twist is just holding the lobby push. It does indicate somewhat of a slower stance from NIP. Smoke completely removes res from the round for the next 15. Two responsible for outside. They lie and wait. Force some CT aggression, and that's what Flush has delivered. More than he bargained for as the smoke clears. Res caught off. Plopsky's had heroics from Ramp Room just beforehand. This time, 0 challenges on his walk. That's information to work with, build the picture of how this bomb goes down, how this round is won. recurring theme, Henry, but I'm going to say the word again, time.
Yeah, it could be an issue here for NIP. We're getting to the 20-second mark. It's a lovely shot from JW. Flusher will follow things up, and it'll be Golden in a prime position to shut down the plant. Surely he's done so. That should be the round in itself. It's going to be Lekro left in a 4 versus 1. No time on the clock, and I think he knows it at this point. Makes his way down, but he's got plenty of cash in reserve, or at least his teammates do. So they can certainly try and probe for some kills here. He has a look towards lower, realizes there's nothing available, and he will just be saving the weapon at this stage. But he needs to make sure he holds on to it in these last few seconds, which I can confirm he will. So there we go, second round on the board for Fnatic. JW with the AWP. Purchases up his armor now. He's got a nice healthy buy overall. And here's the replay. The CT's pushing in toward that squeaky door. Flush out being a nuisance as ever. They had no idea he'd continue to push that position. 6-2. Fnatic can still come back and win the half, but as we said, NIP have pretty much already put in a good shift, and it looks like they're going to be picking up the pace here as well. 5 players towards the squeaky door. In they come. The upper rush is on the cards here. Are Fnatic ready?
Whoa, there's so much damage early, but Crims, he's handling it, going back and forth, and nades are landing, but so are his bullets. That's what they were looking for. The Ninjas find a flurry of frags, puts them in good stead to get that bomb down, to contest this Golden. What is that? Quick to descend, as is JW in the vent. He can reposition quickly here, perhaps catch one off guard. The bomb will be down. Forest is on his guard, though, towards Mini. He knows that that's going to be the next possibility for JW, catching him on the clear, potentially. And wow, no worries. The last legacy member of the Ninjas finds them 7 on their T side of the Nuke. Overpass becoming more and more of a possibility. And what a third map that could be. Yeah, given how one-sided, quote-unquote one-sided, admittedly the score was close, Dust2 felt.
Yeah, Overpass is becoming a bit of a classic in terms of a third map. We're seeing it kind of similar to Inferno in that respect. It will be a tactical timeout now for Fnatic after winning the previous round, giving it straight up. They are still going to have enough money to buy, but there will be compromises to be made as JW and Crims are both sub $4,000, both hovering around $3,500. And it looks like Deagles will be brought out once more as this CT side becomes more and more deadly for them overall. An MP9 for Brolan, that's about as exciting as it gets, I'm afraid. No shotgun spotted just yet. And you can see this play style and this map in general seems to suit the complexion of NIP much more than Dust2, I have to say. So 2 Deagles, 2 CZs, 3 smokes. NIP with the previous upper rush, finding great success there, overwhelming to the CT defense. This time of outside smoke, trying to get secret control early, and they might just get it. Through the flames, Flopsky goes, barely takes any damage for it. Yeah, the beauty of those outside smokes is that should a Molotov arrive, you can use the smoke itself to get in fast, and Flopsky's done just that, not only with positioning, but with kills. Rez joins in with the vent. Golden only a Deagle to do damage. He does have the window broken already. Chance to reposition and tuck in, but this is a fight for Plopsky. He has a he had to be quick with that one, Golden. Fortunately for him, JW had softened him up. Now they've got a rifle to play with on the CT side, and it does look like it's changed their mind. Eyes were on Secret, and now potential to change things up. That must have been ridiculous. It sounded that way. Forest, 1 tap, 1 head found, Brolin gone. This round running out of options for Fnatic now, given the control they've given up. To confirm it is Twist, a lovely double. Can't do too much, I say that. Golden actually ready for another frag here. Forest keeps NIP stable again. Yeah, you can see him fired up as well. NIP looking much better here in the second map. Their pick, it makes sense, but Fnatic not really putting up much of a fight here whatsoever. Remember, they did win that second round force buy as well, so haven't had much success in terms of actual gunfights here. Lovely shot from Forest towards main entrance and that hub position. Money starting to stabilize somewhat for Fnatic, but the game's certainly not. 8-2 down, they've lost their CT side here. You don't say that too often. There's a chance of coming back here, but it's going to take something remarkable in the second half. And a few more rounds here in the first. That's more like it from Crims. A double spray down. He can't get away with his life, though. Advantage towards Fnatic, however. And the smoke will come through to stop any reaction play from the T side here. Golden will hold on to the ramp room. Flash have a scrappy kill towards that side. Doesn't take any damage for it. They've got a 4-on-2 lead.
Just the arm scene. Not enough for Plopsky to profit, but has another go of it. JW, however, will have his drop now. He knows it. Knows that rotates a likelihood, but still a hard fight to win. Fnatic with the CT aggression, this is when they do seem to find their early leads. It was Flusher pushing Squeaky, it was a lobby push.
Yeah, we need to see a lot more of that, to be honest with you. Crims getting some confidence, throwing caution to the wind, has led them to a 4-on-1 situation. Forest, though, knows he can cause some financial damage if he gets even a couple of kills, but JW, with a precise shot from the sniper, will take him down eventually. It's going to be 8-3 as Fnatic start to get themselves back into this one. To be honest with you, they need at least 6 or 7 to stand a chance in that next half. We'll see if they can deliver. Round 12 coming through the dying stages of this first half now. NIP looks so poised to take this first map. Money, not an issue. They've got one more buy left in them after the reinvestment here. And going to need more success as they deploy the same outside smokes. Who will be delivered behind them, though? It's going to be Lekro this time, once again, trying to get control of that secret position.
Little resistance. Oh, but he wasn't ready for that. JW already set up in warehouse. Seen a couple of deaths like that from Lekro. Looking the wrong way.
Yes. Yeah, alone again, and that's going to force NIP to show that hand towards the upper bomb side, but well held so far from Fnatic. This is much more like it. Ready and waiting towards the upper side. Shouldn't be any chance there for Rez. Trying to take down anyone he can with him. Not going to be the case, though. It will be a very clean round from Fnatic there. Lekro trying to present the standard outside smokes. And it's difficult to really gauge how many players are down there. But if you get that quick kill and it's Lekro going down, you can gather it might be him by himself there. JW will rotate back towards upper, back up his teammate, and no problem whatsoever. They need to start finding a few rounds in a row now. Ideally, the rest of this first half to go in their favor.
Yeah, they've managed to whittle away a little bit. Twist on those CZ, Plopsky the same, but will we see the same level of pace? Some topside takes. NIP have been mixing things up. Willing to take that fight early was Rez. Now ramp pressured. Golden falls back. He's doing his job perfectly. And they drop in perfect unison. Can they find the frag? They can. Synergy present. Rifle for Twist. It's going to be a question of timing for Rez here. If he walks out that hut at the right moment, he can support his team by cutting that rotate in half. JW, he may not be ready for this. Pistol out. Yep, leaps into the sky. That's the sign of a player unprepared for what was around that corner. Now, with the bomb down, NIP have another advantage. Round 13, and they're already looking for their 9th here on the T side. That's madness.
Yeah, they've got a lot more in their arsenal in terms of strategies here on Nuke. You can see they've got a mixture of pace, nice outside smokes, good combination of variations of that approach here. And now Plopsky with the CZ continuing to find success here. This needs to find time on the clock if possible. The bomb certainly going off at this point. Will both the CTs make their way towards Secret and get away with their lives? It looks like they're absolutely fine for now. Forest towards a window, trying to scramble himself. He'll get away just in time there. Goes down with just 9 points of damage inflicted, so no problem whatsoever. 3 players survive on the NIP side as they continue to find strong success here on the T side of Nuke. Money in a difficult spot once again for Fnatic. They do save the AWP and the M4. They'll have to take another tactical timeout. They can feel this map slipping away from them. Third looking almost locked in at this point, Alex.
With this many rounds on the T side, yeah, I'm straight up there agreeing with you. 9-4 Fnatic. It does seem like this is a map that they've yet to really integrate into their wheelhouse. The stats don't lie either. Admittedly, not many on record for everyone. Every single map, I think it's 6 or something the most. But this, only once we've seen it from this iteration of the Fnatic roster. Timeout called. Of course, here at CORSAIR DreamHack Masters, you will have access to your coach's comms during that freeze time, but this is an additional breath. 9-6, it's a must-have, it's a must-win.
Yeah, they have to buy them with these last 2 rounds, no question about it. So the M4s will come out. We'll see if they can get back on their feet here. 4 rounds on the CT side, just not enough. It's not going to instill confidence in the team going forward into that second half. If they only get 4, that means it has to be a pistol victory and a 3-0 conversion going forward. Then they'll have to really dictate the pace of their game, completely control the financial situation. As Crims hasn't been the strongest showing in terms of his performance at this tournament. He's had some amazing maps, breaking records. A little bit quieter here with 79 ADR, but was still a decent showing. We'll see. Presumably a technical timeout here. The headsets have come off. So we'll reel it in a little bit in terms of the information here, Alex.
Yeah, perhaps we should. See how things end up. But for any of you that have just joined the broadcast, you've tuned in just in time for what could be a competitive third, could still be a competitive second map. However, at the moment, the case made has been poor. And for now, it does sound like we are going to have to take a short break as we prepare ourselves for the rest of Nuke. So do not move a muscle, and we'll be right back with the rest of the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Yeah, cause it feels good right now. Yeah. Gotta show me the money. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Never been around wealth, now I'm surrounded. Nice cars at the mansion right next to the fountain. CEOs in business suits and private accountants. Yeah. Summertime parties by the pool, we lounging. By night we out stunting on the main strip. Out of state trips, cars with the paint drip. How could you hate this? Jewelry in my chain sit. That's the life I wanna live. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. Yeah. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Yeah, come on, show me the money, show me the money, show me the money, Never have to worry if I have enough dough, Fashion show out in Paris in the front row, Party every night, I don't have time to sleep, Next day it's the same, just rinse and repeat, Summertime trips on a yacht to the island, Squad rolling with me and we do a lot of wildin', Bottle of whatever you want, just put your order in, you can have as much as you want, there's plenty more of them, yeah. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. It's always been there, it's in the back of your mind. It's always been there, it's in the top shelf in the back room. It's always been there, it's in the happy place where you run free. It's always been there, it always will be there for you. Let the world in, open up your arms. Let the world in,
We're back in business, live from Sweden. It is the Swedish derby as well. Map 2, Nuke, has gone fantastically for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Certainly do seem to have besotted the crown, and for good reason, of course, lifting the trophy on this very stage. Different rosters now, though. And it's not 2016 anymore. Redemption is on the menu. However, it does seem like a little unobtainable, certainly on Nuke for Fnatic. On Machine, he's Henry G, and so far, they are 4-9 down on their CT side of Nuke.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all for Fnatic, I have to say, but they do have a decent buy going forward into round number 14. It's JW with the sniper rifle. He has to step up, influential to the success they found in that first map. As we get forward into round 14 here, we'll get into the freeze time now. Looks like we are ready to go. NIP with 9 rounds on the board. It couldn't get much better on the T side, Alex.
It really couldn't. They're actually going to call a timeout straight off of the back of Flusher saying he's ready to go, just getting his PC back on the stage. We thank you for your patience. NIP choosing to use their timeout just to get their frame of mind right now. They know that the game is about to go underway. Round 14, map 2. It looks like we're ready to jump straight on in.
We absolutely are. Here we go then. 4 gun round on both sides. Desperately need these last 2 Fnatic. 9-6 is workable. It's certainly not ideal. They cannot afford to let this go double digits for the Ninjas though. Smokes deployed towards outside. Incendiary thrown to try and block the T approach. Try and make the smoke a little bit more disjointed, but no real damage inflicted yet. And there's big numbers down towards the lower bomb site. JW ready and waiting the AWP. Looking to strike first. Give them an early lead and rotate.
That's the plan. We'll see what NIP can do about it. Oh, it's the jiggle, unpunished. He didn't stick around to get the information on how many more were with him, though.
That's enough, though. He just wants to suggest he's still down there, and most Orpals will do that. I'll find a pick and go to a different point of the map, knowing it'll push them back into a more uncomfortable position here. Goes towards the vent, and this time can't land the shot. He'll have to fall back at this point.
Still kicking. Molotov exchange. He finds a safe space. Topsky, however, onto Flusher. Now JW still dancing around these vents, close quarters. He must be conscious that the push can come in, but still good frags from Fnatic puts them within arm's reach of an important 5th round.
Yeah, a lot to do still here, though, and that's going to be a nice opening frag in the 4-on-2 situation. 40 seconds remain. Golden down to 13 points of health, and Brolan patrolling the outside area. He's got great control of the situation. Needs to nail this kill, though, which he absolutely does. We said this was the must-win for Fnatic, and they're certainly delivering now, setting the sniper towards the secret steps at the very start. JW, he will deliver on this promise, and it will be Brolan to finish things off there. Great round from Fnatic. More of that required, though, in round number 15. They'll have a decent reservoir of cash, and finally, for the first time, NIP will have not much to work with here. $1,700 on Twist, beneath 3K for Lekro and Plovsky, Rez on 1,600 as well. So it'll be a mixture of a couple of rifles and SMGs here. Twist opting for the Desert Eagle, Rez on the CZ so far. So surely Fnatic can close this one out.
It's a picture that they'll have to paint, but they are already distinctly favored coming into this one. Smoke, oh, he can play around that. There isn't another one either, but they still choose to commit into the spray. Flusher's only going to get 1. Oh, but Plovsky punished for his bloodshed. Catches a nade to the dome, down to 3.
Oh, we spotted him.
Yeah, Brolan was there to cover JW's retreat.
Yeah. At this stage, 4-on-4. Only 1 rifle still in the hands of NIP. You can see that Incendiary actually working out very nicely for Fnatic that time. Smokes did not land successfully. Managed to get themselves an initial frag. Plovsky down low, Brolan now towards the T-vent. Looking towards Squeaky Door. 1 minute on the clock, smoke deployed just as NIP wanted to commit.
And now Brolan should have an easy one after Plovsky looking to transfer. Twist is low, not low enough. Now the Deagle from JW comes into play. Close quarters isn't enough versus Forest and Twist, but look at the damage they've done into the 2v2. Nade. Could have been enough to seal the deal, but it won't. And now swinging out, Forest not precise enough. Look, put all on Twist, who with the bomb and time can set himself up for a 1 versus 2 after plant to close out this half.
Yeah, he's going to have to be very intelligent with his approach here. Try and segregate the CTs, bring this down to a 1v1 as quickly as he can, making his way towards the ramp. And this is where he will be taken down. He's not going to check the position. Crims will help himself to a free frag there, and indeed it will be 9-6. Fnatic give themselves enough to work with yet. Certainly not good news overall, but still they have enough. 9-6 at half will throw down to Frankie, who's down on the stage.
Well, Fnatic are going to have to be satisfied with that one. They did manage to pull back a couple of rounds. And actually, I heard the crowd coming out for NIP in that last one. Are you with them? Is this going to be 3 maps? I think the Fnatic fans may beg to differ, but we'll find out what actually happens after the break.
Back-to-back breaks, we thank you for your patience. Now it's time for the second half of Nuke. Will we see NIP convert this very promising lead into their defense?
Well, if they do, they'll be in good stead to close this map out. It's a very CT-sided affair. They've got themselves 5 Kevlars to operate with here in the second half. Pistol as JW close towards that squeaky door position. Smokes it down, looking to get himself towards the vents and sneaks past. He does manage to drop down without taking much damage at all. His teammates will follow things up with a ramp approach here. Bullets not landing, but Sweat is getting awkward. He does manage to get at least one. Wasn't quite worth that considering the initial interaction, but still a 4 versus 4, but not for long. Brolan fighting back here. A lot of missed shots with these USPs as Forest does find 2 in the back, and it's going to be Lekro who delivers there. Finds the bomb now. At this stage, it's a 2 versus 2. Massive advantage for NIP with 1 minute 15 left on the clock.
This is a duel they can take together as well. Didn't need the help. Plopsky handles it. JW, though, makes a huge step. It's all about the fight. It's about the brawl. No longer the element of surprise. He's close to the bomb for retrieval, and he knows that Plopsky was last seen on ramp. Good dink. He can't convert. Picking up the bomb. Is he really going to go up heaven? He is.
Oh, my goodness. That's so wild from him. He just ignores the first player there. Yeah. He knows he's done enough to dissuade him from the play, and this could be the kill. JW is delivering here on all fronts. He's going down towards lower as well. Plopsky, 14 health. Has he read this situation? Time will tell. He's actually all the way back at the top of ramp room right now. Bomb planted. JW just toying with them at this stage. Closes the door behind him. No kit available on the map. Remember, 5 sets of Kevlar coming to this one. Both of them incredibly low, but advantage towards JW. How has he made this work?
He's made it look so good for Fnatic in pursuit of a very important pistol round on the bomb. Oh my goodness, is he willing to hold it? 10 seconds left. I think JW is going to have to push on, and Plopsky forced off, but it's not over just yet. Rotting the clock, JW's playing this perfectly. Just drawing Plopsky's fire. He wants confirmation, he will push for it, but I think he's shaved enough time off the clock. And JW with a monstrous play for Fnatic on the T side of Nuke.
That is world class from JW. That's more like it from him, the confidence in his own ability there. He just completely ignores the first player, focuses towards the ramp. He doesn't find the quick kill, he gets the dink, manages to bring it down to the 1 versus 1, and just perfect play here. And it was Lekro. It looked like he guaranteed the situation for NIP, but no, JW completely meddles with the defense there and manages to find them a much-needed pistol round. Force fire in response now, 1 from Plopsky, a scout in the hands of Twist, and 3 pistols around them, and 3 rifles for Fnatic. No initial initial damage inflicted here with the scout. When he saw this in the first half, you're not trying to go for necessarily all the headshots, trying to tag up as many players as you can, just to make things a little bit easier for your pistol players here. Decent incendiary will hold them at bay for now, but no damage inflicted.
Fnatic. They just took that Molotov as somewhat of a stop sign, incendiary to be precise, but Lekro's Deagle is in play, and that's already made quite the appearance today. Smoke in response makes it awkward around Mini. And he can play around it from the box. Brolin willing to take this fight in the open. He doesn't necessarily have the support of his teammates, and a combination of Twist and Lekro enables him to find the first. Quickly traded, JW applying the pressure into the inner side.
Whoa. Twist is looking absolutely deadly with this scout now as they find kill after kill. The force by working out for an IP, and be Twist to close things out there. 4 kills for himself. We did say he needed headshots there, and he managed to deliver on all fronts, managing to hit 4 players in total and actually taking them down as well. That is fantastic work as NIP will post double digits now. Look at these kills coming through. It's interesting as to why the smokes weren't deployed towards outside there. Maybe didn't have them towards the end. They go towards upper. It was a couple of kills from JW, the UMP, but that's all they can find. Twist completely dismantles the offense there. And we go to round number 18, a force fire response here with Desert Eagles. Fnatic had an entrance in the second half, and they're slowly slipping away from them.
Yeah, taste their own medicine. Second round is so far from a guarantee. JW making no secret of his descent, and that will be easy for Lekro to handle. NIP weathering this storm with not too much to write home about. That nade couldn't have been better. Crims hiding behind the box has been cut down to half. Forest likely to finish it, but Brolin with his Desert Eagle finding one. They know, or at least have a rough estimation as to where he stands. Lekro willing to take this fight. It's about reaction times, and Lekro wins. He had the better weapon. Now a Galil for Crims, that's something, and so is Flusher on the Desert Eagle. Eliminates the threat from Secret. Puts us into 3v2.
Exciting round here, still a minute on the clock, but Crims will have 48 HP. They've got 1 smoke, a Galil in hand, and Crims towards the top of heaven. He needs to find a decision here. How can they get this bomb down? How can they make this difficult for the CTs? Makes his way out. Down he goes though. Fantastic shot from Forest. Completely guarantees the round, almost certainly here, as Flusher will have just a Desert Eagle. 30 seconds remaining. Bomb on his back, sure, but how does he get that planted? I don't think there's a possibility of it going down here.
Yeah, they've got all of his angles of assault covered. He's taking so much time to clear this one. It's likely he's going to get caught by the flank. Rez will go investigating as things get down to the nitty-gritty. 15 seconds. Flusher would have to be planting in 10. And now he drops. Plopsky was the man on lower for NIP. And he's in prime position to catch him on the cross. Good tagging, doesn't convert, and now Flusher's got a 1 shot. Spectacular, no time for the plant. The round will go his way. Forest confirming. That's his 3rd frag of the round, and the 10th, now 11th for NIP.
Yeah, some quite beautiful shots there, but overall it will be the round for NIP, and Flusher died after the timer as well. He gets no money into that next round. He'll be sat on $650 here. They're going to have to take a full eco, and he'll be hamstrung going into that next round for sure. He's got 15 kills to his name, and it's 11-7. NIP really looking quite strong now on Nuke, up against just Glocks across the board. No money invested into this round whatsoever. Pretty much guaranteed to be the 12th here, as NIP will hold back. No pushes required. No aggression needs to be presented at all. Just need to hold their crossfires and make sure they don't give any rifles up here. Shooting out the windows suggesting they've got utility, but they just don't.
They just don't. Yeah, NIP, they've had to work hard for some of these rounds. This one, there should not be a furrowed brow in sight. You even have an SMG on Plopsky if you wanted to go hunting. Does look like they're going to be using this time to think things through for the future. Fnatic, their T side, yet to make too much of an impact since that pistol round. And it's no worries for Forest. They're going to get another Plopsky. $600 in the pocket, leaves Brolin. A Glock versus 3 rifles. It's a story of a rather one-sided affair. So 12 then to 7. Fnatic get that one over and done with, but perhaps the economic strife isn't done there.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Remember, Flush are not getting any money for that Deagle round. He currently sits on $3,000. Good for a Gilal armor, no grenades, maybe a decoy at the very most. He'll go for the Scout instead. Really not looking too great on this T side. They've got bare bones at best in terms of the grenades. Only one Molotov available to them as Flusher lines up the initial smokes here. Brolan very fast paced towards outside, but swallows that grenade down to 54 before he can even make a cross at this point.
And the timing of that Molotov again will slow them down. They respect it. It's nice and deep. Can't use the smokes to maneuver when it's locked you on the red container. Second smoke will arrive a little later than the first. And oh dear. Oh dearie me. Lecro, he gets enough information to start putting bullets into the smoke, and still the cross will be tumultuous. Crims, that's important. Now his team can get across, and now this round still attainable for Fnatic.
Goes for the M4. Flush up. Throws away the Scout, makes his way towards Heaven now. 1 minute on the clock. JW watching Freddy pushes from the ramp room. Still have a flash, one smoke and an HE. Grenade has been thrown, no damage inflicted whatsoever. Twist prime position to shut the ladder approach down. Just trying to maintain their crossfires. It'll be very difficult for Fnatic to even get close to the bomb site of no utility here. Best point of access is going to be Flush's position as they wait to see what he can do.
They don't even have the bomb for a quick response either. It's still down outside with 30 seconds left. This is going to be tough. Rez is in a perfect spot as well. Nice work. Drawing the fire from him. Crims already finds his second frag of the round as well. Now the bomb has been picked up, and now they're ready for their assault. They're all coming from Mini, and it's easy for Forest. Handles it like a champion. Experience oozing from every pore. Round 20 for Ninjas in Pajamas, and that's the 13th. They are so ready for Overpass.
Yeah, it's certainly looking to be the case, I have to say. Forest runs the clock down, swings out at the correct time. Look how calm and precise he is as well. He had a rough major recently over in Berlin, but this is more like it. This is the Forest we've come to expect. You can see him feeling himself. He's happy, he's smiling, and they've got 13 rounds on the board on the CT side of Nuke. Money, once again, completely broken on the Fnatic side, as it looks almost like a certainty this round is going against them. They can just partially invest into this one. They had $3,000 per player. Really not enough to work with there. They get maximum loss bonus in the next round. Let's see if they can get a bomb planted at least here. There is a chance they can maybe rush towards Zappa and catch the CT off guard, but not really much you can do here with just 2 smokes, a few flashbangs. E3 to really fully commit towards outside. So I suggest the upper bomb side is going to be their main point of approach. Okay. We'll see.
We will see. And for now, Flusher not going to be a part of it. He heads towards the silo, but there is some aggression towards the squeaky side of things. Smokes and Molotovs. Doesn't sound like a party I'd like a ticket to, but Crims, he's undaunted, straight down to the low side. Plopsky, he is in perfect striking distance, and he can hear the sound. He knows there's a player pushing up. Crims completely exposed. An easy frag for Plopsky. 4 frags away from 14.
Good positioning. Nice and calm here from NIP. They've spotted yet another player. That's Brolan. Going to be dealt with in due course by Lecro. They start to take the players down slowly but surely here. Confirming things once again is Forest with fantastic play with that M4. The moving turret will find 3 more frags, taking his total up to 21 kills and 10 deaths. He stands at the very tippity top of the server right now. Twist just beneath him with 18 kills. We'll see if we can get a nice replay of that one. You can see how calm he is. That 3rd frag as well, just anticipating the push from JW. 14-7. A couple of rounds will do it.
Couple of rounds before we see our 3rd. It does seem like Nuke T-side is not something that Fnatic were necessarily completely and totally ready for. Brolan, nice positioning from him. Jumps straight over the head of Lecro. The Z-axis, it's unfamiliar territory. Now Rez's aggression, he knows he has to take the initiative, but Crims was so ready for it. They get the information now, looking to piece together where the remaining 2 are. Plopsky likely to meet Golden with that early outside control. Rez has a must-win fight for Flusher, extending the lead for Fnatic. They're not done yet. And a perfect round so far. If they can go and convert this without losing a single man, they're going to start being able to build up what has previously been rather elusive money for their T-side.
Yeah, a lot more where that came from. certainly required for the Fnatic boys here. We Twist to hold on to the AWP. His teammates didn't really put up a fight there, just a little bit of damage inflicted towards Flusher, but 5 players looking likely to survive here. Twist will just look to hold on to the AWP, but it shouldn't affect the Ninjas too much going forward. They've got plenty of cash for the next round. There's 2 more rounds required. They have gone nowhere near the danger zone just yet. Looks like Twist might be found. They'll take something very fast to get Crims. His silent approach is completely wrecked, but they do know exactly where he is now. They should continue the hunt here. It's worth it considering they have so many players alive.
Twist right to upgrade to the AK as the challenges continue to come in. Golden represent, well, a golden opportunity, but no, Twist unable to keep his weapon, take that AWP into the next, and so we will see Fnatic just round one with the weapons, of course, off the back of the pistol, so 2 in total for their T side. And they stopped the spree of NIP. 5 in a row was from them.
Well, it'll be the AWP on the T side in the hands of Golden, no less. They'll be heading towards the outer position. Smokes deployed, flashbangs too, trying to pick up the pace a little bit now. Golden should protect from the T boxes here as his teammates make their way towards the secret position with a bomb on their backs as well. They'll boost on T-Red first just to get a clear vision towards the outside position, mainly towards CT spawn. You can see Golden flashed off though, he'll drop down. Still need to cross over, flush up. Trying to get intel towards the garage position as he looks over the boxes here to see if any CTs will peek at all. Lekro is there, but playing a very defensive game.
It's a scary role to play, especially when you know the outside take is underway. Pressure applied. Lekro remains passive. He has to choose his timing well. He's going to make no secret of his position. They knew he was there already, but the smoke confirms it. Now they can play around that smoke themselves. It's nice work from Crims. That's outside eliminated. Where do you go from here? Certainly not towards Twist's scope. Stopping Golden's advance. He continues his. Players possibly above him though, and he's going to catch not only that, but the bomb, expecting another. He sees the scatter! Twist! And I shout! Flusher would have to be as prolific as the Beatles if he wanted a chance at this one. That's the start, but immediately traded. NIP just 1 round away.
What a great little sequence that was from Twist. So aware of what would be happening in front of him and using the shadows to his advantage as well. Had to hit the quick scope there. Absolutely delivers on that 3rd and final kill. Really exciting stuff. You see the shadow advantage there. Did actually spot the player before he dropped down and then completely ruins Crims. And it will be map point for NIP here. Up against a UMP in the hands of Brolan. 4 rifles around it. They do have enough to buy into this one, but their T-set approach has been lackluster. Fnatic haven't really found much at all in the first half, but they gave away a lot of rounds, and Lekro looking to finish things off here. He'll take the bomb down towards outside, but it's a quick trade. JW has been spotted by Plopsky and forced to go back towards the lobby position.
Outside taken very early on. Twist is waiting. Will not necessarily be rewarded. The second shot does, and now just 3 remain for Fnatic's chances of keeping Nuke going. They regroup. They have access to the lower site. Plopsky, nade doesn't do too much, enables him to continue this fight, this hunt for Flusher. Oh, there's so many there. Flusher has to do something rather magical. Not even going to find the first, but it's Golden and Brolan. All weight of this map on their shoulders. Only going to get the first for now. Golden paid a heavy price. But still kicking. Still able to throw bullets in the direction of Plopsky, but his weight, his watch is over. 3 remain, pushing in, it's done. NIP, we're going to overpass. Somewhat of a signature 3rd map decider for the Swedish derby.
Well, there it is. It's the Swedish sniper stepping up in the closing round there. Twist with a fantastic performance on the CT side. Manages to net himself 22 frags and 15 deaths. Really exciting stuff towards the end there. Some great sequences overall, but Fnatic, they looked weak there on Nuke. As expected, they are a new roster. It seems like Nuke hasn't been the focus in their practice so much because NIP just ran over them in the first half, posting so many rounds on their T side, and overall looking like the better team on Nuke.
On Nuke, and of course Dust 2, it felt very much the other way around, so overpassed, an unknown entity. I think actually, if I had to piece it together, seeing the ridiculous Furia game we saw on Overpass from Fnatic, we could be in for a 3rd map spectacle. But to break it down and to set the scene is the analyst desk. Let's head over there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson and Mr. Gurr. We're going to have a conversation right now about Nuke. Where did we fall on that one, ladies?
I think this was as expected. I don't think Fnatic have had time to practice Nuke that much. I think Fnatic may have made a little bit of a mistake in that video by not risking putting in Vertigo there. They removed it, right? I'm 100% sure, I'm at least, pretty sure that NIP wouldn't have picked Vertigo had that been left in the pool. So maybe I would have taken a chance there and removed Nukes just to make sure that you had a chance of actually making it competitive. This looked like NIP all over. There was no doubt that they're going to win this game, and Fnatic seemed to play a game of FPL, which they ended up losing.
They did end up losing it, and you could definitely see it. Their rotations were a little stiff. They were their movement and the mobility within that server was very much so focused towards the upper side, and they weren't moving very much. But we saw some great things out of Twist. We've talking about how he needed to bring forth that consistency for this lineup, and we saw that out of him. He had some really nice scout shots coming out.
I mean, overall, though, when we talk about these two teams, we talk about the contrast between two maps. How are we feeling going into a third map with Fnatic, NiP? Do we feel like there's some redemption that just happened there for NiP?
I think it's going to be close. I think this was bound to happen. I think both teams are, as said in the first game, it's not that they're playing, some spectacular, well-played Counter-Strike. They're just playing up to the strengths they have, I guess. Fnatic got the job done on Dust 2, and now NiP got it done on Nuke. So I think Overpass is going to be that middle ground where it once again could be very scrappy, very intense, and again, these players know each other so well. So I would be surprised if it would not be a close game.
As well, I mean, I think scrappy is a word we've been using a lot today, but it's definitely a word that perfectly describes this Overpass that's going to be coming up. We cannot forget on the first day, Furia versus Fnatic. It went into so many OTs. I believe that was the longest game we've had in a LAN in quite some time. And so I think that's going to bode well for Fnatic, specifically because they did come out on top of that match alone. And grinding through what almost is 2 matches on that Overpass kind of gives them a little bit better of an idea of what they need to expect coming into this one.
Yes, and going forward into Overpass, as we've said, we can take a look at the numbers from the first 2 maps here, and it's going to be pretty even, minus, I guess, what would be Res and Golden for either side. But nonetheless, I mean, the thing about this matchup is the frags are not indicative to what's going on in the server in terms of, yes, this is a rivalry match. That's one way to put it.
Sure. A little bit of a roaring signal, the fact that Rest is not having a great game. I think he is supposed to be the main guy of this NIP lineup. I do agree, Twist is playing great. Forest seems to be back at it now with the rifle. That's 2 players that you really need activated. But for NIP to come through and for NIP to be not only dangerous against Fnatic and Overpass, but also, give themselves a realistic chance of going toe-to-toe against Astralis tomorrow if they were to win, then we need to see Rest in his prime. And he's been struggling a little bit.
He has, but I'm looking at Forest on this one. I mean, Forest has had such a spectacular land so far after being quiet for so long. Yesterday, even having so many audible calls, opening up the rounds for his team, and then you can immediately see the reactions coming out of all his players, just following up behind him, rallying into the site, and they're keeping it basic. They're just forcing those trades, getting into those sites, getting into post-plant scenarios, and more often than not, it is working out for NIP, so I hope to see more of that on this Overpass.
Let's be honest right here, though, for just 1 second. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
I'm always honest.
Be honest with you at home. Let's really just kind of put this into perspective. Whoever wins here plays Astralis.
Sure.
What happens to him there?
If they don't step it up massively tomorrow, then Astralis is going to absolutely demolish either of these 2 teams tomorrow. I have no doubt in my mind. So, as sad as that may sound, the Swedes needs to step it up, and that's what I want to see here in Overpass. I want to see, Forest, Rest, Twist for that matter, all chime in together at the same time and deliver. I want to see Crims, Flusher, and JW, for an example, go toe-to-toe against those 3 and make sure that they are playing at the absolute best. Because otherwise, it is a spot in the semifinal, and coming into the tournament, yes, that would have been nice for any of these Swedish squads, but if they want to stand a chance of even making it competitive against Astralis, they need to step it up.
We got one Dane that's slightly full of himself and maybe Denmark as well. We don't really know, but we'll get to the bottom of that tomorrow when the time comes for our semifinals, because coming up after the break, we will have the conclusion of this series, the 3rd map as promised, with the Swedish teams that are promised right here in Ninjas Pajamas and Fnatic going toe-to-toe, and they've made it all the way to a 3rd map. Overpass on the cards, Dust 2 and Nuke are done, and we'll be right back after the break.
I was being honest.